Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration. We are here tonight with Ramapo College of New Jersey. First things first, if you do have any questions, please be sure to drop them into the Q&A button. There is no chat function in tonight's event. Your camera and microphone are off. That means the hosts will not be able to see or hear you. So the only way to ask questions is through the question and answer box. Be sure to sign up for additional sessions. You can do so at NJACAC.org/virtualfair, and that's also where you can find the recording of this session as well as all of the other sessions that we are sharing. I'm going to hand it over to Jose and Ramapo College. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much. Welcome everybody. Just give us 1 second so we upload our presentation here for you all. There we go. All right, let's get started. So thank you again for joining us. My name is Jose. We have a great presentation here for you, but let's start introducing who our panelists are before we get started.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Kevon Hemmings. I'm an admissions counselor here at Ramapo College. I assist Jose with EOF recruitment, and I'm also the diversity liaison within the admissions office.
Hi, I'm Kelly Duran. I'm another admissions counselor at Ramapo. Primarily, I recruit our Central New Jersey students, so Middlesex, Monmouth, Somerset County, and Union County. I also work with our college honors program students, and then also do all of our social media in the admissions office.
Okay, and again, my name is Jose Vallejo. I am an admissions counselor here and oversee the admissions process for our college's EOF program, or Educational Opportunity Fund program. I also coordinate our student ambassador program here. So we have an army of 75 volunteer students that help us with our events. And then also, in addition to that, I am also an adjunct instructor here at the college. So with our introductions, we have, Kelly, do you want to bring us into the video?
Yeah, so to be able to, for students who may not be familiar with Ramapo, we're going to start off with this great aerial video of campus so you can get an idea of what the campus looks like. We're relatively large. We have about 300 acres altogether. So you're going to get to see some of the academic buildings and also some of the residence halls too. Jose, you're muted.
As I was saying, that so as Kelly mentioned earlier, we are located, we do have a 300-acre campus located up in northern Bergen County. We're about 45 minutes from New York City, which opens up a world of opportunities for our students. Our academic buildings is actually one large academic complex made up of 9 interconnected wings that allows our students to really easily move from area to area without not worrying about running from one building to another. We have lots of different opportunities for students both on campus and also off. We'll have a number of campus shuttles that bring our students to all the local spots, including our main transportation hub, which is the New Jersey Transit Ramsey Route 17 station. Ramapo is one of New Jersey's smallest 4-year public colleges. Right now, our total undergraduate enrollment is somewhere about 5,500 students, which compared to some of the other state schools, that is really low. But that size allows us to really provide students with a lot of great opportunities to connect with faculty members. In fact, our student faculty ratio allows for our faculties to really get members to really get to know our students and be not only teachers, but also mentor to our students. Average class size and the largest class size, which is listed on the screen there, indicate that we have no lecture hall courses of any kind. Really, the hallmark of a Ramapo education is a small classroom environment, direct contact with faculty members, and no teaching assistants or graduate assistants teaching any of our courses.
Okay, great. So at Ramapo, we have a bunch of different majors and opportunities that you could take advantage of as well. We do have 5 schools on campus: business, the arts, humanities and global studies, social and human services, and theoretical and applied science. What you see on the screen here are some of our more popular majors within each school. And there's a lot of different opportunities you could take within each major. There's minors as well. We do allow minoring on campus, and also concentrations. And some of the things you see here are concentrations as well. So you can double concentrate on campus if that makes sense. And you'll have an advisor on campus too to help you out with any of those decisions. Okay, so articulated joint programs, basically these are specific programs where Ramapo has a specific partnership with another school within that area. So here's some of the programs where you'll start at Ramapo and then finish at this school to get an advanced degree. The reason why it's a partnership is because that school is familiar and knows the curriculum you're taking at Ramapo. So they'll take all the credits you take at Ramapo so you can continue on to this next school. And the ones that you see here are listed as well, and they're all very popular. Okay, so graduate programs. A lot of you out there are going to school and may want a degree past your bachelor's degree. You probably want to go to school a little longer than 4 years, right? So as you can see here, we have a lot of graduate programs listed here. And you want to make sure to also note a lot of the 4+1 options that we have. So if you look at accounting, we do have the accounting master's. So you come in as an accounting undergrad. You stay for 1 extra year and get your accounting major, your master's. Which is nice for accounting because you need a certain amount of credits to sit for the CPA exam anyway. And then you get your master's, right? And then for a lot of people, you're done after that. So you can go on into the field. Same for business administration. It's the option for all for 6 of the business majors, not accounting, but the others to stay for 1 extra year and get your MBA. MFA is new this fall, and then also, next fall, and that's a 4+1 option with the music major as well. Data science, 4+1 option with the 4 undergrad majors you see there. Social work as well, 4+1 option with social work undergrad. Also 4+1 with special ed for elementary education, right? For the people out there who want to be a teacher and want to get that master's degree, you can knock it all out in 5 years and get that extra degree, as well as the 3 extra master's degrees at the bottom. And we have 1 doctorate degree for nursing practice.
Like many schools in the state of New Jersey, Ramapo does offer an Educational Opportunity Fund program. The EOF program is a state access program that provides students enrolled into the program both academic and financial support to assure their successful completion of their college degree. EOF programs are open to all qualified state residents. As long as the student has been living in the state of New Jersey for at least 12 consecutive months or longer, and meet all requirements for the program, those students can be admitted into college through an EOF program. All EOF programs must meet academic, financial, and program criteria, meaning that students have to meet all of those benchmarks in order to be considered for admissions to the college through the EOF program. Once a student enrolls at a college through EOF, they are required to do the pre-first year summer program. This 5-week residential program allows for students to get a jump start on their education. Students can earn college credit during the summer program, depending on their schedule of courses that they're taking that summer. And all EOF students at Ramapo College begin in the fall with an established Ramapo GPA. So if a student completes the summer program with a 3.8 GPA, they will return in the fall with the entire first year class with a 3.8 at Ramapo College already established. So it definitely gives them a jump start into their career here at Ramapo College.
So now some kind of other academic opportunities to be able to talk about. So first is our Cahill Center and Cahill Career and Development Center. So we have about 1,000 internship opportunities in New York City alone, and then also have about 10,000 altogether throughout Northern New Jersey, Central New Jersey, and then also New York State as well. And then we have about 500 different employers that will visit campus annually each year. So whether they'll be meeting with students in small groups, or they'll also do our huge college and career fair. Luckily, we were able to do it right before our campus shut down, actually due to COVID. And then also all of our students get put into a Pathways program. So they are based on your academic major, and then you're going to be working with faculty and career advisors specifically in those programs. So really working with resume, interview, and workshopping skills for your internships when you're going to be in an undergraduate, and then also either if you're going eventually into graduate school or for full-time employment as well then too. And then also, as I mentioned before, I work with our college honors program. So kind of a few big highlights of the program. So you'll take specific honors courses when you're at Ramapo. So they're the same classes that all first year students will take anyway. The difference between an honors class and a regular class is it's normally a little bit more discussion. You're typically doing a little bit more writing. They all have a field trip component to them as well. Obviously, all the field trips are much more virtual now. And then also, you'll be having typically smaller class sizes. Typically, while our average class size is 21, they may be more in the teens. Also, all first year students get put into honors development groups. So you will also be with 6 to 9 other first year students who will all be working together with an upperclassman doing more community service and civic engagement type of projects. And then also fun things like getting pizza and being able to study. And then also lastly, you do your senior research project. So you'll be working with faculty members, and really it's open-ended. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be focused on your major, or you can be able to kind of do whatever you want for that. And then also you can present at national conferences as well as on campus. And then also interning and study abroad, again, maybe not something you want to do particularly right now, but maybe something you want to do down the line. We have about 500 different programs all together. And so there's a few different options. So you can either just take classes, you can do a class and an internship, or you can just do an internship when you're doing study abroad. And then also the programs can range anywhere from a week-long program to a year-long program. Most popular time students will typically go is normally the summer months, just because it's a little bit easier with work, school, and class. And typically those are about a 5-week program as well. And also a pretty big important consideration, especially depending on where you are in the great state of New Jersey, is living on campus. So we have 5 different suite style residence halls. So we have no communal bathrooms anywhere on campus. So you're never sharing a bathroom with an entire floor of people. You're only sharing a bathroom with the people that you live with. There are only 2 first year options. The first one is Pine Hall. So it's 3 rooms, 2 people in each room, 6 people total, sharing a bathroom and sharing a living space. And then the other option is Mackin and Bischoff Hall, which they are right next to each other. They are laid out the exact same. They're sister buildings. It's 2 people per room, sharing a bathroom and sharing a living space. So you have the option of whichever one is going to work best for you as well. And then also we do have 2 apartment styles, so they're more garden style, kind of duplexes. And so that's a great opportunity, especially for more juniors and seniors. Typically, you're also going to have a room to yourself in those. And they're pretty close to our academic building. So if it's about a 5-minute walk to main academic, if you're really going to the furthest academic building from the furthest residence hall, it's maybe a 10-minute walk. And you're also allowed to have your car on campus all 4 years, and housing is guaranteed all 4 years as well. We're also ranked #1 in the state of New Jersey by niche.com for our residence hall, so something we are pretty prideful of. And then also, you're obviously not going to be in class every minute of every day, so also what is there to do on campus? So first, we have about 24 different sororities and fraternities on campus, about 120 different student clubs and organizations, so anything from more academics to social to more community service-based, so kind of special interest groups. Some are more popular ones, especially beekeeping, bass fishing, Dumbledore's Army, the Disney Club, also the Student and Government Association. So there's a lot to be able to get involved in. If we also don't have something that you really want to be able to do, you just need 10 other students and a faculty member to get anything off the ground and running. We have about 31 different professional honor societies as well. So those are typically more academic based. And then also about 150 different volunteer opportunities, either on campus or off campus, or clubs that'll come to campus as well. So there's a lot to be able to do, specifically more volunteering. We have 18 Division III athletics as well. Some of the more popular ones: basketball, baseball, softball, track and field, swimming and diving, and then also soccer. And then lastly, we have about 30 different leadership programs on campus. So the big one for first-year students is called Leaders in Service. So you get to move in a little bit early, and then you get to work more with service learning and then also community service. And you get to work with leaders already on campus, so like the president and the vice presidents, and then also leaders in SGA and club presidents as well then too.
Applying to Ramapo is pretty simple. You can find us on the Common application, on the Coalition application, or on our own web application. For us, we don't have a preference which of the 3 that you use. We typically like to inform students that if all the schools that you're going to apply to are on the Common application, simply add us to your Common app. If the schools that you're going to be applying to are not members of the Common application or the Coalition application, then definitely use our web application, as it is a pretty streamlined admissions application that can be completed roughly in about 5 minutes if you upload your college essay. All 3 of these applications will require you to submit an essay as part of your application. So definitely, if you're working on those, you can upload those directly from your desktop or cloud drive, or you can go old-fashioned and just copy and paste it into the essay box on the application. And admissions requirements. So the first thing that we need is obviously your application for admissions. We're also going to be requesting that you submit to us a high school transcript. Average GPA for our first-year class is about a 3.4. That roughly translates into about an 85 grade or a B plus range. So while that is the average range of our admitted students, this is by no means that you need to have a 3.4 or higher. This is definitely an average. Things that we look for on your transcript are going to be not just your GPA, but looking at the individual grades of the classes that you've taken. We want to know what you did to get your GPA specifically. We're looking to see how you've challenged yourself in school based on the curriculum available to you at your high school. We're also going to look to see how you have used your electives to help prepare for that major that you're going to be applying for. Even if you come to us as an undeclared major, we're still going to be looking to see how you've challenged yourself throughout your 4 years of high school. We do require 1 letter of recommendation, although 2 is preferred. You are more than welcome to submit more than 2 letters of recommendation as well. We typically will ask that you send about 3 or 4 max. As I mentioned before, all applications are going to require you to submit an essay along with that application. The essay really is one of the most important parts of your application process because it's the one thing that you control 100%. It also gives you the opportunity to share information with us that we're not going to find on your transcript or your recommendations. So definitely, as you're working on your essays, make sure that you're sharing information that you feel is important for us to know as we review your application. If students that are going to be applying for the EOF program, you are going to need to submit financial documentation in order to be verified financially for EOF. Typically, these are tax returns for this year, it would be for 2019 and 2018. But once you complete the questions on your application for EOF, you will be informed of what specific financial documentations you may have to submit in order to complete your application. This year, Ramapo College became officially a test optional institution, meaning that students can choose whether they want to submit SAT or ACT test scores as part of their admissions process. We went completely test optional for all undergraduate majors at Ramapo College. The one exception to this would be for those students that are going to be applying for those articulated joint programs that we mentioned earlier. You will still have to submit either SATs or ACTs for those particular programs at this time. We are mindful of what is happening with the College Board and the ACT, and if things need to change, applicants would be the first people that we would be notifying about any changes to our test optional policy. And of course, the cardinal rule in college admissions is that there's a deadline for everything. At Ramapo, we offer 3 admission types. You can apply either early decision, which is a binding decision for students who are applying to Ramapo because we're your #1 choice. Early action and regular decision, both of which are non-binding. You see, application deadline for early decision is November 1st, and students would receive their decision on December 5th for early decision. Please keep in mind that if you are admitted to Ramapo through early decision, you will have to submit your enrollment deposit by February 1st. So it is a binding decision. Students who are applying early action simply means that you're going to apply and get your decision a whole month earlier than you would if you applied regular decision. Both early action and regular decision are non-binding. So when you get your decision for your early action application on February 1st, or if you applied regular decision and you get your acceptance on March 1st, you will have until our deposit deadline to decide if you'd like to come to Ramapo or not. We do encourage all applicants who are not applying early decision to submit their applications by December 15th. For 2 specific reasons. December 15th is a priority deadline for not only our nursing and biology majors, 2 of our programs that are very popular and have small enrollment numbers, but it is also the priority deadline for merit scholarship. So at State Institution, we do have a number of scholarships that we can award for incoming students, but we are limited to how many we can actually award. So we do encourage everybody to submit their application by December 15th if you're interested in being reviewed for scholarship. This, of course, does not mean that if on January 18th you finish binge watching the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe on Disney+, and you remember that you didn't submit the application to Ramapo, you can still submit your application. You will still be reviewed for your major as well as for merit scholarship. However, depending on when you submit the application, we may not be able to award you a one scholarship or any scholarships because we don't have any scholarships to award. So definitely keep that in mind.
Okay, so cost of Ramapo, our cost is comparable to other state schools. Our tuition and fees are at the top there for a year, plus our housing and meals are average. If you add that up, you're getting about $29,800 a year or so on average, and that's before any financial aid, any scholarships, any loans, grants, anything. So we do have some available scholarships for incoming students. For Most students, we have the Dean's Award and a Presidential Award scholarship. So the Dean's is about $7,500 a year, and Presidential is a full tuition and fees scholarship, and those are tuition-related fees, okay? If you are admitted through the EOF program, then you can be eligible for the EOF scholarship, granted that you pass the 2 summer classes that are offered at Ramapo and do well in the summer program. If that's the case and everything else lines up, then you can get the $5,000 extra that Ramapo adds on to your financial aid in the EOF program. And if you don't get a scholarship coming in, you don't have to worry about it. We do have over 400 scholarships for students who are continuing Ramapo students, right? Students that are freshmen and go into their sophomore year, junior year, et cetera. There are a bunch of ways where you can get scholarships during that time for that as well. Just like what Jose said, there are deadlines for scholarships. And also when we look at your application, we are looking at, your GPA, rigor of coursework, obviously, reading your essay, your letter of recommendation, looking at extracurriculars, activities that you've done outside the classroom, anything you've done with your community, to look at students that we want to award a scholarship as well. So we do have that as well. And again, affordability is our goal, right? We want you to pay as least amount of money to school as possible. So our average tuition increase in the past 5 years, only 1.5%, is one of the lowest in the state. And so we are dedicated to keeping that low as well.
And also definitely connect with us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube to be able to see some videos from students on campus. And also definitely, especially check out our Instagram. The first Thursday of every month now, we've been having counselors be able to answer questions live on our Instagram. And also last spring, we also had students that were answering questions as well to be able to give more of that student perspective. So definitely feel free, they're all in our stories. And then we also post about all of our events that are going to be going on as well. Also, if you have a question about Ramapo and you need an answer relatively quickly, we have a live chat feature on our website that's open during our admissions hours, Monday through Friday at 8:30 to 4:30 as well. And then also for any students who want to be able to come and visit our campus, we have campus tours Monday through Wednesday at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And then also Saturday tours at 9, 11, and 1 p.m. They're capped at 25 students. And then also everyone is wearing a mask, social distancing, and everyone fills out a COVID screening form ahead of time as well. And then other ways to be able to connect with us virtually. So the best website is on the bottom here. So ramapo.edu/learn. So there's different ways to learn about our academic programs, interact with the admissions office, and explore ways to be able to connect with us. Specifically running this week, and we'll have another one in November, is Virtual Academic Week. So you get to hear more about from the deans of our schools and then be able to hear more about the programs. There's also Virtual Open House, which will be having another one in November. And also we do Tuesday topics every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, talk about admissions process, financing your education, student life, living on campus. And we also are doing some student panels normally once a month as well then too. And then otherwise, we've gotten a few questions throughout this presentation, but feel free, put in some of the questions into Q&A. I'll actually read out one of the questions that we got in Q&A during this presentation. So the first one that we got was about the honors program. For students who are interested in applying into the honors program, you will, when you're filling out your Ramapo application, if it's the Ramapo application, the Common App, or the Coalition App, either way, it'll ask you a question and it'll say, are you interested in applying to the honors program? And then it'll give you kind of a blurb about the honors program. And then you just have to do a separate admissions essay for the honors program. Pretty easy. Describe a community that you're a part of and why it's important to you. And then also we will invite students to be able to interview. Most likely these interviews used to be in person, but they will probably be virtual as well. Normally it's about 20 minutes and it'll be either from a staff member like myself or from a faculty member as well. Otherwise, I do have a question that I'll throw over to Kevon. For students who are interested in obviously filling out their financial aid, what are deadlines that they should be keeping in mind?
Okay, great. Deadlines for financial aid, very important. The FAFSA opened on October 1st, you guys, 6 days ago. So I mean, it's live. Don't waste no time now. The quicker you fill that out, you know, the more probable that the money is there. So please fill it out as quick as possible. You have to put that in by March 15th latest. So please do not wait until the Ides of March to submit your FAFSA, because the quicker you submit it, the quicker we can get your information, the quicker we can give you a financial aid package once you apply. So in order to really choose a college and really weigh your options, you want to make sure you have that financial piece. Most definitely, there's a lot of students that wait last minute and then they get their financial aid way too late to be able to actually make an educated decision. So please do that now. It is open now. Go online. If you live with your parents, have them help you out. Yeah.
Awesome. And then also, if you were a junior joining us in this conversation, you will not have to do it until October of next year. Seniors are the ones who want to be able to do it now. So another question, I'll throw this one over to Jose. Can you talk about how students can get fee waivers at Ramapo?
Yep. So students, we always encourage students who are in need of a fee waiver due to economic hardship to use our common application. The common application actually has a built-in application fee waiver process that it can be easily completed while you're doing your application and will automatically process your fee waiver and your application at the same time. So that really is the most streamlined way of doing that. In order to qualify for a fee waiver with the Common App, you do have to meet certain criteria. Again, fee waivers are designed for students who are in economic hardship. Many students, so if you did qualify for a fee waiver for an SAT or an ACT, if you qualify for free or reduced lunch or a couple of other factors, as long as you're checking that off, you would be able to get the fee waiver through the Common application.
Awesome, thank you. So one of our next kind of more popular questions is to be able to talk a little bit more specifically about our nursing program. Do either of you want to do it, or do you want me to take it?
Kelly, why don't you give it a go?
So our nursing program is hands down our most popular program. Normally each year we get about 1,200 applications for the nursing program. We accept roughly about 450 students each year. And for a first year class of about 150 students for a nursing program. So a relatively large program. What we're looking for primarily is looking at around a 3.5 type of GPA, at least a B in all of your math and science courses. And we're also going to be looking at what classes you're taking during your senior year. And this is always a big recommendation for a nursing student is, I want you to also be taking math and science during your senior year. If you're taking cooking and art and all of those other electives, those are great too. However, if you don't take them for an entire year, that is a point of a little bit of concern, because I don't know if then during your first year, you're going to be ready for the nursing program. Our nursing program is also director entry. So the minute you get accepted, you'll start taking classes during your first year. There's no pre-nursing and there is no additional testing as well. And nursing, like all the rest of our programs, undergraduate are test optional now. So that means if you did take your SAT or ACT, fantastic, send them over to us. However, if you didn't get a chance to be able to do it, or you didn't do as well as you thought you wanted to do, don't send them. I don't recommend it. I say this a lot to most students that I don't get paid by College Board. If you don't feel confident in your scores, don't send them, and don't send them the extra money to be able to send those scores over to us as well. And then ultimately, what we're also looking for nursing students is, yes, your academics, but we're also looking for strong letters of recommendation, especially math and science teachers. While I love to run from a history teacher, I prefer math and science. And then also your essay. Tell me a little bit about why you want to be a nurse. Tell me a little bit about why you're interested in Ramapo. Just give me some more context to like kind of that conversation. And then ultimately, while this doesn't just go to nursing, this goes to all students. If you're interested in Ramapo or any of the schools that you're interested in, you should know who your admissions counselor is, and you should be able to connect with them, whether it's text message, phone, email. For Ramapo specifically, we do interviews. They're not required, but they're totally optional if you want to just give us some more context into who you are as a person. And then also we do virtual one-on-one appointments to be able to chat and be able to just answer some of your questions as well in a more one-on-one type of setting. So definitely reach out. And then that's also something that helps you ultimately, because then you get to be able to get answers to your questions. So otherwise, the next question I'm going to throw over to Kevon. What are some tips that you would give for students for the college essay?
Yes, good question. The essay, we are looking for students who are who they're paying attention to like how they're writing their sentences. We are looking for obviously the basics, punctuation, you know, periods, no run-on sentences, capitalizing your letters. We want to make sure you have the basic writing skills. Because I mean, fact of the matter is in college, I mean, even if you're a music major and art major, you're going to be writing a lot. Ramapo does require, and a lot of colleges do, writing intensive courses. So you will be taking those in college. You want to make sure you can write. Also, we want to make sure, please try to write about something that you're passionate about. There's a lot of essays. Me, Jose, and Kelly can all attest that we read a lot of essays where you can feel the passion, the character coming out of our screen, and others you can feel that they may have written it in 12 minutes over dinner. So you want to make sure that if you are writing about something, it's something you're passionate about, something that comes across, something that we can feel on the other side of screen. There's a lot of times where, you know, essays, a lot of colleges require them for a reason. We do want to read them. And there's colleges that don't want to read them, and they'll tell you, we don't need your essay. So know that when there's colleges that do require them, take that as an opportunity for you to be able to tell us more about yourself, that your grades aren't telling, or your extracurriculars aren't telling, or to be able to get more in detail about your extracurricular. So this is really a chance for you to really, you know, go all out and tell us more about you that may not be shown anywhere else.
Awesome. So I'll throw this question over to Jose. For a student who's maybe undeclared, not 100% sure about their major, what kind of advice would you give them?
Sure. So every year we get about 20% of our incoming class comes to us undeclared. My experience has been that students, it's not that students don't know what they want to do. Sometimes it's something as simple as, well, I want to do 30 different things and I don't know how to do that in 4 years. So oftentimes for me, I like to advise students in thinking, go backwards, right? Think about where do you see yourself once you're done with your schooling? What kind of work are you doing? What kind of career are you looking to build? Because sometimes if you look at it from that perspective, you can work backwards and figure out, well, what's the best way? At Ramapo, one of the things that we do really well is all undeclared students are provided additional resources to help you with deciding on what's going to be the best major for you. Most of our undeclared students will select their major within the first year that they're at Ramapo. Everybody does have to select it by the end of the second year. We also give students an opportunity to come in undeclared under one of our 5 academic schools. So you may know that you want to do something in the arts, but you're not exactly sure what it's going to be. You can simply come in as an undeclared arts major and start working on not only your gen ed courses, but also working on those required courses for the School of Contemporary Art. And we offer this option for all 5 of our academic schools. This way, students are not going to feel like I did all this work and now I have to do even more work. You're still working towards your goal. But ultimately, similar to what Kevon had mentioned about the essay, you have to be passionate about what you want to major in, right? Everybody wants to go to college and pick that one career path that's going to make them money. And that's great, right? But you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Thinking about it from a perspective of what is it that I enjoy doing can definitely help you out. Another great trick to think about is eliminating, when you're looking at a college website, when you look at our website, you see that entire list of 100+ majors, minors, and concentrations, just start, crossing out the things that you don't want to do. I graduated from Ramapo a long time ago, and I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to do something in business. I knew it was not going to be something in the sciences, and I knew that it was not going to be something in the arts, and that kind of eliminated 3 out of our 5 schools. So it definitely kind of helps to narrow down the playing field. So definitely that's a great trick also if you're still unsure what you want to do. you're going to start eliminating some of the options to then really think about what it is exactly that you want to do.
Awesome, thank you. And so since we're at about the 5-minute mark, I'll just do one last question, and I'll ask all 3 of us to answer, so I'll go first. What is your #1 piece of advice for incoming students as they're going through the application process? So for me, my biggest piece of advice is, if you have questions, please reach out to us. You know, phone, text, email, whatever it's going to be, we can be able to get you the answer, or if we don't know the answer, we can get you connected to someone who is going to know the answer as well. And also, when I come across your application, then I can be able to be like, oh, I remember that great conversation I had with Jimmy, and we got to be able to talk about this. Reach out, especially to the schools that you're really interested in, and be able to have that more kind of one-on-one and kind of personal interaction, where people too, I'm the person behind the desk, so are these 2 people who are reading your applications. We want to get to know you just like you want to be able to get to know us, so that we can also ultimately help you find the right fit. For all of you, it may not be Ramapo, but it may be another school, and we can maybe get you to that part then too. Of course, we hope you choose Ramapo, but ultimately we want what's best for you too, and to end up where you're happy. Kevon, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Great answer, by the way, Kelly. Other than what Kelly said, because I think that's my #1 thing, definitely ask questions. We see a lot of students not asking questions until there is no other resort. And then by that time, it's too late. So ask them earlier than later. Remember, you guys, we have the Q&A box at the bottom. Ask us questions if you can, and then also the phone number and text number at the bottom. You can send those too. But my #1 thing is to visit the college that you are looking at. You don't want to go into a random school. A lot of students, transfer out because they weren't able to visit the college beforehand. We don't see a lot of that at Ramapo, but some schools, a lot of times, you'll see students like, I never visited, but this school accepted me and I just went here and I don't like it. So make sure you visit your school before you give them your deposit.
And I think, the best thing that I can leave you all with is just a reminder that this is a process, right? Enjoy the process and know that as the applicant, you are in charge of this ship, which we call the college application process. We think that it's great if you have an army of supporters and advocates that are working with you to make sure that you're going to get to the school that fits you best. But we also, and if you can hear from the messaging that we're saying, we also want to hear from you, and we want to know that you are involved in your process. On every level, right? Not just communicating with us, not just visiting the campus, but also when we're looking at, when you're making that decision, when you're getting that financial aid award letter and you're looking at those numbers, that if you have questions that you're going to contact us so we can help you better understand what your out-of-pocket cost is actually going to be. Oftentimes we get caught in looking at, how much money am I going to get for the school, or how much is, that you have to really think about what the out-of-pocket cost is going to be for you, and know that if a school is not able to award you a scholarship at the start, it's not a forever thing. We have over 400 scholarships for your sophomore, junior, and senior year. So whether you got a scholarship coming in or not, there's always an opportunity for you to get scholarship money and help minimize that out-of-pocket cost. So some things to keep in mind. So it looks like we got one final question right before we come to an end. I'm going to feel. So oftentimes, if you're undeclared, sometimes you just simply need to kind of go to the school and kind of just stand there and kind of feel, is this right for me? We know that with COVID-19, there's a lot of limitations to you visiting college campuses. We're happy to announce that we are doing small campus tours. So that's another great question to ask the schools that you're interested in, is definitely to think about contacting them and saying, hey, are you running any kind of tours that I can do? And if it's not a in-person tour, there may be a virtual tour that you can attend. We are hitting our time here. So with that, I will say thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you have any other questions, you can email us at admissions@ramapo.edu. And we're more than happy to help answer those questions to follow up. So thank you again from all of us. We wish you well, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much. Just everyone who is here with us today, when we close out, you will see a quick survey if you can fill that out, and be sure to go to NJACAC/virtual fairs to view other sessions, as well as to see the recording of this session and all the other sessions that we have. Thank you for joining us with Ramapo College tonight, and have a wonderful evening.